Where do you go? Yeah, but I mean, how are you doing? Good. So, how are you doing? Good. Yeah, he's good. I don't know if it's working.
I think we start off by thanking Brian and Debbie. I think they brought you together. Great. Okay, so, well, we'll get things rolling here. If you don't mind, Eric Swatsky, one of the agricultural directors here at West Central Area Schools. And thank you, braving the weather. Sounds like it's starting to get nice out, but it'll die down. I get back home and kind of some housekeeping items before we get started. When we leave here and go for the tour, is definitely if you're somebody who travel far, or somebody that needs to get out of here for whatever reason, as far as driving, definitely don't feel bad about going. For those of us that are closer to get get home safely a little bit later. But we'll try to get everybody out here in the daylight. Definitely 4:30 is a goal. We'll try to get through some great speakers that are going to talk about some different aspects of this project, and then get you out to do the tours, which just to kind of explain, we'll do our program here. We've got refreshments out in the commons. Just feel free to hang out in the commons and chat with folks, get some ideas and brainstorm. It's a great time to get minds together and thinking about what we can do for our kids. The FFA members then will be just off out to the right here, and they will take you, if you want to kind of self-develop groups of 10 to 15, 20 people, then they'll take you to different stations from here by the band room. We've got some stops, and then the greenhouse and the ag department, and then they'll bring you back up into the commons. If you want to come back and check more stuff out, we can do that after all the other groups have gone through. It's a small crowd because of the weather, so I anticipate that we won't have a lot of issues. with people getting kind of full in the greenhouse. We can't fit everybody, so we're going to try to move you along. And if you want to come back later, you can definitely do that. So on to the actual program. This is a day of an absolute celebration of something that's been going in our community and growing for the last 3.5 years. There was a community event that we put together, must have been summer 2019, where we had pitched this idea. So let's think about teaching plant science hands-on. And so we said, let's work on this idea of putting up a greenhouse, and I pitched out 3 different types. One being kind of a very do-it-yourself, buy some polycarbonate and some piping and put something up and have the students build a greenhouse. There's a kit style we could have purchased that was very similar to what we have now, but definitely was missing a lot of bells and whistles. And then there was this idea of putting together something where we can see the best of the best, the technology of today in greenhouse construction and greenhouse operation. And I have not had a single person, in fact, I think I'm the only person that considered the other 2 options. All the way up to our superintendent in previous years, who said, this needs to happen. You need to go with the best of the best for our kids. Don't ever shortchange this project, because this needs to be a type of a facility where we're not being nickel and dimed with maintenance issues, and we're not bogging down our students with watering schedules and everything else. And so that was an exciting first piece, was to know that everybody wanted that. The other thing that came out of that meeting was we had some Lions members that are in the audience today who were in the audience that day. They pitched the idea of, let's just not teach plant science, but let's do something positive in our community and for other people, not just our students. And let's see if we can't provide an opportunity to grow food for our food shelves. And that really is the catalyst that caused this entire project to not only create a greenhouse, but you're going to hear conversations about the meat processing facility that we're going to be having coming next year. And that is a part of what that conversation started with. For everybody in science, we're really proud of Lions did. Every business and organization that followed along and sponsored us and helped us out, you mean just as much to us as far as understanding the value of hands-on plant science, hunger relief, as the two really can go hand in hand. There are plenty of schools that build greenhouses, and there's nobody that's ever done a big grand opening like this. Not that I'm in the agricultural education. There's a reason we're doing it this way, though. We really are trying to bite on something that is a really important issue at a level that I just think that we're doing differently. It was really exciting in class yesterday, one of my Ag 9 classes. I had a student, after I explained, if you didn't hear, the National FFA president stopped by last night and met with our FFA members and got to see the greenhouse. He couldn't be here today, but was able to make it last night. When I introduced that idea to the class yesterday, and one of the students raised their hand and said, and very innocently, said, Mr. Swatsky, I don't understand. Why are all these important people coming to our little community? That's powerful. I mean, when you have them understand that this is big, okay, and that they are here because you're important. They believe in you as students and your ability to do something really impactful. That means something. I think that brings inspiration to high school students and the value that we put on them. They're not here to just be told information. They're here to create information, create knowledge, do research, become the next expert, become the next agronomist, become the next researchers that come up with the next modification that's going to solve the next issue that comes up in growing food that we need. And all while they're doing that, stop by the Grant County food shelf and drop some food off once a week. That's kind of where we're heading. We're in the beginning stages. You're going to see all our plants are in the beginning growth stages. We'll come back in 6 months and see how much we're producing and see what we're doing. It's really exciting. So some additional logistic things as far as how today will go, and then one last comment before we get started. We're going to have, instead of having an MC come and fill time, we're going to just have each of you that are scheduled come on up and speak. And if you are one of the individuals, if you haven't, I should say, we have the programs, and if you haven't picked one up, I think you should just stop up in the back and grab one, because if you're a speaker, we should make sure that you know when you're up, because we're not going to have an MC go through those. But please come up, introduce yourself, who you represent, and then 2 to 3 comments, and then we'll have a few video presentations. Jamie Johnson is our current president. She'll wrap things up. If I have any final housekeeping things, I will. We will then have the tours, And then just free time to chat. When you need to go, you need to go. We don't have anything, after we leave this room, there's nothing formal that'll happen. We'll just have the tours in kind of an informal setting, and then you are more than welcome to stay as long as you'd like, or you can head out as well if you need to hit the road and get out of the nasty weather. The last little piece I want to make sure that I mention for myself, for every student here, we basically prepared ourselves kind of like somebody who's preparing for a race. We've done a little bit of the training. We've got the right equipment. You know what? You've got somebody who's going to do a marathon. They're going to figure out what are the right shoes to wear. They're going to figure out the right regimen to prepare preparation. We've done that. This wasn't a journey getting this greenhouse. This was just getting the tools. And today is the first real day of the journey. And the journey honestly doesn't even have an end destination. We are constantly going to be here, constantly supporting our community by supporting our students, while also providing food for those folks that need it. And a lot more great ideas are to come. You'll hear some of them in the presentations today, but you probably won't even hear all of them. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. There's a whole lot of people in the background who are thinking about you as students and what you could become, and what kind of skill sets they want their next employers, and they want the next community leaders to have, and they want to help you here in our ag department to do that, and that's what's really exciting. So with that, I'll ask Sue to come up, and we will get started with our first speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Swatsky. You know, there's a movie that my husband and I like called Field of Dreams, and the whole theme of that is if you build it, they will come. Well, I think we can see that today, that's true of our greenhouse. Just to introduce myself, I'm the District Governor-elect Sue Kovac of the Elbow Lake Lions. I'd like to welcome you here to West Central and our dedication for our greenhouse. I see we have lots of our Lions Club friends have joined us. If I could you just stand so we can recognize all of you? Everyone who's in there. This is a direct result of us applying for a grant from a part of Lions Club International known as LCIF, or the Lions Club International Foundation. Lions Club is the largest service organization in the world. We have 1.4 million members. Roughly 50,000 clubs in 200 countries. Most importantly, our motto is we serve. LCIF, or the Lions Club International Foundation, is the arm of the organization that answers the call for funding projects like ours and also for disasters. 2 weeks ago, I was in Chicago for training, and there were 4 people there with us from Turkey. And when the earthquake hit, they were with us. And when they tried to call home, all 3 of the men could reach their families. There was 1 woman that could not reach her family or anyone in her village because it was gone. So this poor lady had to fly all the way home, not knowing what was going to be there when she got there. I'm proud to say that LCIF donated $200,000 that day to the Turkey relief, and they are the first in almost every situation to have funds donated to the local Lions clubs to use as they see fit. It was about 3.5, maybe 4 years ago, I was contacted by Deb Lacey, and I was asked if I would help write a Lions Club grant for a greenhouse at West Central. After a lot of homework and a pandemic and some other setbacks, we did just that. In addition to the grant we were hoping to receive from Lions International, we got support from Lions Clubs of Elbow Lake and Wendell and Ashby and Hoffman and Grant County and Kensington, all banded together to help fund the project. Mr. Swatsky and I didn't go make those pleas for donations, the kids did. They came and made speeches to the Lions Club about how this was so important to them, and as a result, received the funds that were necessary. We applied for and received the hunger grant for $100,000 toward our greenhouse. In addition to hunger, we also emphasized that this involved children and the environment, 2 of the other causes that Lions around the world love to address. The grant needed to be approved by 150 international directors from all over the world. Only question they had was, does a greenhouse in Minnesota really make sense? They pictured weather like we have today happening all year long. Well, luckily we had somebody in the room, a man named Brian Sheehan, who's the current international president of Lions International. He was in the room to help answer those questions for us and said that in his eyes, there was nowhere better to put a greenhouse where we would get produce all year long. Luckily, Brian Sheehan is from Bird Island, Minnesota, people. Say, he's got us trained. Brian's a bit of a quirky guy, and for example, I bet if I look, there's a whole bunch of us wearing penguin socks right now. And whenever we say Bird Island, we're supposed to respond with the phrase, "Where the hell's Bird Island?" So we're all trained well. He is actually, as we speak, he is in a Mardi Gras parade, so unable to be here. So I asked him if he would send a video message to everyone, especially to the kids of West Central. I will warn you, Brian has a quirky sense of humor. So as we play this video, be prepared for anything. Can we show the video, please?
We might have
one second.
tech on my plate.
No, we're gonna hold on 2 minutes. I just gotta get. Okay, perfect.
Unfreeze.
No. Oh no, you got it free. Perfect. No, you're good. I just gotta get my email open, and I have no idea what's gonna be in there.
One of the things we're required to do to conclude the grant is to also see that there's a plaque that acknowledges the donation by Lions Club International. And this will be posted in the greenhouse now that we've got it and we're having this event today. So we'll be happy to have that up and available to show that we contributed.
Let me come in and log in. We have.
Let's have Debbie.
Good.
Have Debbie.
Debbie's supposed to do her part.
Unfreeze me.
One of the things I will mention is Ryan's motto for his year as president is "Together we can." And that means working with others, working with other groups. We are able to do just about anything. He'll talk about that in his video. But it's this project that I think shows that more than anything else.
Hi, I'm Debbie Lacey, and I'm a farmer, and I am the coordinator of the Grant County Elbow Lake Food Shelf and the Hoffman-Kensington Food Shelf. I'm also a Lions. I'm a grandmother at 13. 3 of my kids went here at West Central School, and I'm just so happy that this concept that Brian and I came up with a few years ago, sat down with 3 teachers, 2 of them from West Central, 1 from Ashby, came to be, and the community embraced it. And what we're planning on doing now is now taking you FFAers. You guys are gonna come up with a marketing plan, if you knew it or not, because you're gonna sell that produce to me and to other local people. And what we're going to be doing is I will be buying it from the schools so that we will hopefully not be touching any educational funding, is what the plans are. And then I will turn around and be giving it to my clients. I average anywhere from about 70 to 100 families and about 300 people a month between the 2 food shelves. Right now it fluctuates. Before that item was up to 600 people. And so with COVID, it kind of changed my dynamics, and now we're kind of expanding. So once we get this plan going, some of the food will be here in the meal program, because some of my clients are kids. And so we said, to help with those food costs of those families, let's use it here at the school, and then what's ever left over, the new FFAers or the egg students or whoever will bring it to me, and then I will be purchasing it from you guys. It's exciting times right now. I just can't, when I talk to other farmers groups through the state of Minnesota, they're like, how did you make this happen? And they're excited, and they're starting to go to their schools and say, let's do it, let's help our people. And I like to thank this whole community for the people that showed up in this kind of weather. You're supporting us, and you're saying to these kids, you're worth it, and you're our future leaders, and we need researchers too, kids. I'll put a plug in for my husband's ag committee group, and we need you kids, and we're looking forward to doing that. So thank you, and thank you for the school board and the administration for having the wisdom to let us do this in our community. So thank you.
I think we're ready with Brian Sheehan's video.
I'm the international president, Brian Sheehan from Lions Clubs International here, and I actually live in Medina, Minnesota. And I wanted to give a big shout out to the West Central area schools and your FFA group on this grand opening of your greenhouse. Community is what we make it. Again, community is what we make it. I know you are very excited for this project. You've done a wonderful job. You spent a lot of time. There's a lot of excitement in the air. I know you're doing great things. And what a wonderful idea that you have had here. You as well as science is about your community and education of our youth. Congratulations on this great project. Stay excited, stay energized in what you have done creating this greenhouse. Congratulations on a great project. I travel the world as Lions are in over 200 countries, and I see lots of projects. This project is so great for your community and school. It's one of the best ones that we've seen from our local clubs. I remember sitting in the grant committee when this proposal actually came through before Lions Clubs International Foundation. And I know they had a lot of questions. They asked me questions from trustees from all over the world. I remember them asking if Minnesota is below zero all year long. I said, no, but it is below zero in the winter, and that's exactly why we need this greenhouse, to be able to continue to educate our youth, but mostly for the community. Again, I say congratulations to the school, the community, the youth, and especially the Lions that are here today. Thank you for caring and giving from your heart. Our motto for Lions has always been, we serve. And my message to our 1.4 million Lions and Leos around the world is together we can. Again, community is what we make it. And you have shown us what together we can means and can do. Together we can, together we will, and together you did. Thank you for all you have done. Lion Brian from Bird Island and from International Lions Organization says congratulations. Thanks for making such a great day for so many people.
You can see he's kind of a dynamic guy. But I would like to thank you too. Thank you, West Central, and thank you, FFA, and especially thank you, Mr. Swatsky, for including us in this project. I was honored to be made an honorary FFA member last year. I was hoping for the jacket. But I'm excited that this is just the start, and so excited to see where this project will take us as we go. Thank you, everybody.
Gary's going to do the dancing like that little one did on the prior presentation, so he'll be ready to go there. It's kind of a hard act to follow, so Gary, I'm hoping you can do pretty well on that. I guess I would just like to congratulate all of our FFA members I should introduce myself first. Paul Brownlow, superintendent here at WCA. I'm actually the former teacher way back from 99 to 2005. So coming back and now leading the school. One of the things, Mr. Sawatsky, if you could work on a greenhouse for the entire district, that makes my weather-related decisions much easier. So that would definitely help out. But I think the biggest things that the board has really worked on is the core values, what we as a district really firmly believe. And that first one is collaboration. As you see, the collaboration that's working together here with all the civic groups, organizations, students, teachers, and the school board and community members has really come to fruition and is making a great impact for our students as well as our school district. And I think giving our students that hands-on opportunity to hopefully learn something here where they can leave and probably have something where they can have an occupation before they leave. Our school building is going to be vitally important. We know that that's going to be a true need in our communities. The other thing that I want to kind of talk about is just the learning that's going to be available to our students through this. I think, again,